Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy Thursday. I am excited to have company today, this week, for my Facebook Live. I've got Maria Hykin here with me. Hi, Maria. Welcome.
Hi, Sherry. Thank you for having me.
Oh, so good to have you here. Maria is a pain specialist and embodiment coach, and she has agreed to hop on with me to chat about. I've been doing some follow-up from our fall workshop that we had last week, where we're doing a bunch of cycle and theme planning. And Maria and I were bantering about the things that she's working on in her business and how she's using those cycle themes. And so I thought it would be great to share a real life example with you all of how this is like playing out for folks within their business and how it's helping them. So I hope you find this supportive today. And if you didn't get a chance to join the fall workshop, you still can grab the replay. I've still got it up, and I'll pop up that link right here for a moment, and then I'll bring it back up in a little bit. But I am appreciating, especially this time of year, having that guidance of the cycles and the seasons as we move into the darker, shorter days in this hemisphere, in the northern hemisphere. So, Maria, tell everybody a little bit about what you do and how you help folks, and then we'll dive into cycles.
Yeah. Well, I have a few different venues, so this is, the cycle themes and just being in your lab really helps because I have several different things that I do. I teach yoga and meditation in Cozumel, Mexico, and so I have this segment of clients. Then I work with people with chronic pain to just bring them to reclaim their life from pain and support them in their journey. And I also work with whoever wants to work with me in terms of embodiment, embodying their life experiences. So it may be a person has anxiety or depression or just some kind of issues, and so how you can feel it in your body and how with the embodiment techniques you can transcend those issues.
Yeah, I know you do some really, really powerful and amazing work, and your meditations that you share out on Facebook I love catching those. They're always so beautiful and grounding, and so appreciate you and what you're doing in the world. Thank you.
No, thank you.
So, tell us a little bit about, you've been in the lab since we started. Thank you. It's been a joy to have you with us. But what drew you to working with the cycles and themes and the astrology piece for your business?
Well, I've been obviously following you for a while, and so I don't really know anything about astrology, but I am astro curious, as you call it, and getting more and more so with your support. And something you posted yesterday actually resonated a lot for me, and I think this is why I joined, is you mentioned something yesterday about, all the clients or many of your clients feeling the same or going through the same issues at the same time. I definitely noticed that a few years ago. I was like, what is going on?
Right.
So definitely, and people who don't know each other. So definitely it's something bigger than just synchronicity. And so when you offered this lab to help us, to support us with cycles and the collective energies to understand this more, this really drew me into this because I was seeing it before, like many years ago, that something is up.
Right.
Yeah, what is it?
Right. What is going on here? What is going on here? Yeah, those synchronicities when you talk to like three clients in a row and they're all sharing, there's all some thread of something that's happening, um, and that seems to be up in the energy. So, and when I personally made that connection with astrology, I've always been astro curious, but the energetic piece, I came at it first because I was like, the themes and having like a flow that makes sense to me, not just like trying to throw darts at my calendar to figure out when I'm supposed to do what, was really helpful. But then as I started to dive deeper and really do my own learning and educating myself, when I started to look at the energies, especially of the personal planets that we've been flowing with, you could then see like, oh, this is where this is coming from. This can really explain a lot of what's happening. So if we can get out ahead of it, then we can really learn to meet people where they're at and really match up the right offers, the right workshops at the right time with the right themes. And I think it's just really a powerful way to, obviously, because that's why I teach this stuff, but a powerful way to navigate all the crazy planning that has to go on.
Absolutely. And it gives you a chance to be proactive versus like hearing a few clients and then like, oh, I need to write an email about this theme, because 3 of my clients are going through the same stuff. But maybe by that point, everybody is already moved on. So it's nice to be proactive about it and to know the cycle themes of collective energies ahead of time, even if it's just a little bit ahead of time.
Yeah, absolutely. So how are you from a practical perspective? How do you take the information you get, via the lab, via the guidebooks, or out of this particular workshop, and how do you apply it in your business?
So, well, in the lab, you always give us the cycle overview, right? The energy and the themes for that cycle. So right away, I just go in and kind of plan. I write emails maybe once a week. And so I kind of plan out those emails, like, what kind of themes, what kind of energies are going to be there. For example, for the Libra cycle, I did it ahead of time because we already had this information ahead of the workshop, I mean. But it's like Libra energy is all about kind of polishing up, beautifying and everything. So I actually have I have a lot of meditations now that you mentioned that I do on Facebook, but I also put them on YouTube. And now I'm creating a course on different themes of meditations. And so this is what I'm focusing in the Libra cycle, kind of polishing this up so that I can offer it. And I was also interviewed for the summit about empowered menopause and like menopause with migraines and everything. And so that was also kind of, and that will go out when the Scorpio cycle starts. So that's kind of perfect. And so yeah, I just take what you give us. And so in the workshop, it was really cool because I'm scrolling through my notes and my hand getting bigger. So it was really cool to have this information for 3 months, for the upcoming 90 days, and to create this roadmap, because then you don't have to think, and then you can get your energy, you can spend your energy elsewhere. You have a perfect, well, as you call it, roadmap, right? And then you just decide which energies are true to you and what resonates with you, because in each cycle there are several energies that you can play with. It's not just one,
Right.
and that's it. And so this is what I usually do. I kind of plan out the month, or in the case of the workshop, it was 3 months. And so I kind of planned it out, and then I'll see. I didn't write the emails or anything, but I kind of planned like what I'm going to talk about to my one-on-one clients. Again, it's nice to be proactive and to kind of know, ooh, this is what's going to be the theme. So kind of already preparing my mind to support them. And of course, marketing emails and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that you're always so proactive with taking the information. It's important to me that this stuff is practical and tactical. There is that, astrology side is a little woo, but my intention is to ground it so that you can really look at things and say, okay, here's the basic themes for the cycle. How does this connect with what I teach, with what I'm working with, what my clients are experiencing? And then help to, really inspire your content creation, right? I'm not telling you what to write about, right?
Exactly.
But I'm giving you those, I want you to be taking inspired action. Too often I see folks, like getting stuck, like, oh, I got my content planner and I have to do an email here and a post here and all the things. And then they're just, putting up whatever because they feel like they have to versus because it's really content that's going to connect.
Yeah, absolutely. And you make it, and the thing is that even though I am in the astrology lab, I still don't understand a lot about astrology. I mean, when you talk about it, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. But then to repeat it to somebody else, I'm like, I don't remember, like, I don't know what this means, but it's still useful. So you really don't need to even learn astrology. The way you present it makes it so easy to just get those themes. Yeah, it's nice to know about the planets and everything. And of course, eventually I already know that, oh, Mars is about taking action. This is about personal stuff. And of course, I learn more and more with each session, but still I cannot say that I know anything in depth. And you don't need to. Like you make it all very, very easy for us so that we don't have to, it's very easy to create content based on those themes, or as you call them, collective energies. And then, yeah, I don't have to think about it that much. And so I can spend my energy elsewhere.
Yeah. Yay, that's really my goal and intention. I see my job is to be able to curate the information and get you what you need. And if somebody's a little more astro curious and they want to understand more, that's there. But if you just need the basics, I've always, my intention is always to give you those snippets like I did in the lab. And maybe I'll bring up my screen real quick to show. Where is my share? Will it let me share while we're talking? This is the question.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Yeah, here we go. Share screen. There's the button. They just changed the name of it. There we go. All right, there we go. So this is just a quick slide from the planning workshop we just did. So you can kind of get an idea how I just we just snippet it down. These are the cycles. And the basic overview of the themes that are occurring during those cycles. So where can you focus? What is the energy of Scorpio that we have coming up? What kinds of things can you be sharing and focused on? So keeping it really short and simple. And even if you don't need to mention the astrology itself in your content, but you have that understanding of what the energies are, so that then you can really, tap in to that, get inspired about what you're creating. If you're someone who helps people with their numbers in their business, Scorpio season's a great time for that. What offers can you make? If you're someone who, we're going to be a little more ready to talk about some taboos and the messy stuff in Scorpio season. So not being afraid to share some of that in your copy. So this is kind of those snippets that Maria was talking about, that how I share them so that it can make your planning really easy and simplified.
Yeah.
And ideally inspired, because I want you to, it still needs to come from you. It's got to be you, right? It has to be what you believe and how you feel. That's really important to me.
Absolutely. And it makes it so easy. That's why I love it, because it makes it, the way you condense the information and present it to us, it makes it so easy to get inspired. Because yeah, a lot of, I mean, we are all, if you ever did any marketing emails, you're like, oh, what do I have to write about this week? Oh my God, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? What else haven't I said yet? And so it's really it's really so easy when you see, oh, okay, oh, this is about freedom, or this is about going a little bit deeper, or this is about like taking action. So that makes it really, really easy. And of course it inspires you, because then you see, and the interesting thing that I also want to mention that really I love about the lab is that, of course, I am part of the collective energy, and so obviously I have the same energies. So it's really cool when you have something in the works and then it gets validated by the astrology. Then it makes it so much more powerful. For example, in the Sagittarius cycle, which is about freedom and leading, right, and everything, I already, without knowing that it's going to be about freedom, I already have a retreat planned with another teacher that's called Freedom from COVID. So I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is how. So it really is amazing. And now I can even promote it more from that angle, that I know that in Sagittarius people, the energy is that people want to learn and everything. So it becomes easier, and you definitely get inspired when you see those themes. And because you don't have to like always think it, right? Like, that, oh, this is something that's flowing, this is the energy that's there. So obviously everybody's tapping into it.
Yeah. And it's so magical because that's always the thing. When I started playing around with astrology with my clients and they would tell me they were struggling with something or frustrated, I would look at their chart and they were like, oh my God, that makes so much sense now. And so I just know that those synchronicities flow for us personally, as well as our clients and out in the collective. So why not ride that wave? Versus trying to figure it all out on your own. Or just,
Absolutely.
I feel like it's like, the definition of insanity, like just keep like doing the same thing over and over again, hope a different result. But when we can really connect with people where they are in that energy, and for ourselves, like the other piece we talk about a lot in the lab is, taking those pauses. And that is something that cycles are really powerful for, is to know like, okay, this is a little bit more of an energetic cycle. And this is going to be a little more the slower cycle, so that, you all aren't beaten up on yourselves because you're not moving the meter right now, right? When it's really not a time that is going to be, not that we can't always be making some sort of offers, but let's do things that match up with the energy of the time.
Right, because a lot of times you make offers if you're doing it like kind of haphazardly, or it's because it's Black Friday, I have to make an offer. Like, who says so?
Right?
Because you get so many emails that you get flooded and overwhelmed, and a lot of times your offers get lost on like specific dates that are conventional offer making days, or like around Christmas time or around New Year's resolutions or whatever that is. And it was very, very helpful in the workshop to learn about, or to get reminded rather, about the eclipse season that's like from October to when it's like January, right? Or something.
Well, this particular cycle will be this right through the Scorpio season. So right now, but then I think what you're talking about is the Mars cycle, the
Oh,
Mars
maybe, yeah.
retrograde. Yeah, Mars retrograde, and Mars being that energy that enables us to take action, it's
Yeah.
going retrograde, which means that the energy goes within, which means we're not going to feel probably as motivated, which means our clients may not feel as motivated. So how do you navigate that? Working in shorter spurts, doing things that, don't require, that knowing that kind of energy when we look at the personal planets is where I think that next layer of magic pops in. But if you just use the themes, you would be 10 steps ahead creating content. But if you
Right,
then
right.
dive into the energy of the cycles, and I'll share this screen real quick. Um,
Yeah, and it was very helpful to learn about this in the workshop, because this is the time, right, when Mars is retrograde, but this is the time that traditional marketing tells you to like go and get your offers out. But then you get frustrated because your
right?
offers are not getting clicks or likes or whatever it is, and you spend all this time and energy and effort to get out something that gets zero attention. So what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
I loved
Mm-hmm.
what you said, that you are not recommending doing like a big launch for the end of the year in January,
Yep.
because of this. And so I'm like, okay, I won't.
Yeah, yeah. Maria's talking about this flow, in terms of, the energetic flow, of moving into winter, right? And if we look at things from a seasonal energy, like you don't need to know anything about astrology, but let's just talk about seasons. Like winter, if you're in the northern hemisphere, that's that time when we're letting go, when we're preparing for this next cycle, and it's an inward time period. And yet we're out here trying to get people to, take action. We have all these other energies going on. It's really a slower energy, a quieter energy, a more inward energy. And that's why every time I tried to launch in January, I was exhausted and overwhelmed. And my results showed it because my energy wasn't a match. Now, for some people, it's okay, but it's tailoring. Maybe you don't do a really long launch. Maybe you just put out something that's easy and simple, that's all dialed in before, but knowing that everyone's energy. Spring is that time, like, let's go. And somebody said in the workshop, that's why I always feel so excited to offer things in April, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you just think about it from that perspective, that energetic flow, and give ourselves permission to take those pauses and like, what do you want to use this time for yourself, for your business? We can be more productive. Less is more, is really
Yeah,
the
and this is what I feel that this lab is really helpful for me, is that I don't have to think as much about what to do or how to do it. Like, what is because with the cycle themes and with this energy reports and with everything, it just, what you call roadmap, you just create this marketing flow, and also, and you don't have to think. You just, I mean, you have to think, but not as
sure.
much, and it's not as heavy, right? Like it's not weighing you down. And what you always emphasize is that we need to also take care of ourselves, because the business, especially for small businesses or big businesses, that it's just one person, right? Or a person and like a little team, it's tough. Like, you cannot always go. You have to do it. You have to do it according to your energy. And
Yeah.
that's when you know all these themes and energies, cycles, everything, then it's very easy to give yourself this permission. Because if you don't know about this, it's like, "Ooh, I want to give myself permission, but should I really?
Right.
Is it
Right.
kosher?"
Right. I'm supposed to be go, go, go,
Hmm.
doing. And it's not realistic. And
No.
then people burn out. I mean, and that's the big thing. Like, I really want people to be doing their work in the world. To be, and to do that, you've got to be taking care of yourself, not just your clients. You can't be, trying to work in this linear productivity way that is, was really only born with the Industrial Revolution. Society never worked that way. It was always an ebb and flow. It was always seasonal or with the flow of the moon. There was people followed cycles for tens of thousands of years. And yet in the last 400 years, we've decided, oh, you need to work, go, 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 do, Energizer Bunny style. And it's not sustainable. And you've got so much magic. Like, I want people to be sharing their magic and to be helping to heal this planet. And you can't do that if you're burnt out, exhausted, and overwhelmed. It's just not
Uh,
possible.
Absolutely. And I have to say that, once I started following your guidance with cycles, definitely it's much easier to get clients, and I have more clients now, because, and I don't do more work. I mean, I do work with clients more, obviously, because I
Right.
have more of them, but I don't do as much work getting clients, because it's just so organically flowing into their energy. And like, when you make an offer at the right time, it's like, yay, everything just, the puzzle gets pieced together. So thank you.
No, you're very welcome. No, you're I love, I love seeing, that's my intention. Like I said, I really want people to be doing your work in the world. And if you're spending so much time creating content and getting stressed out about planning and what to offer when, then you're not doing the thing you're meant to be doing. And your energy is contracted. And when we contract our energy, stressed and overwhelmed, we're not connecting with people. We need to be open. People need to, you know, be able to connect with us. And
Hmm.
so I think it's just a really important piece that gets missed because so many people out there talking tactics. And to me, it's like, I don't preach a particular tactic. Everybody shows, Maria doesn't do a lot of, quote unquote marketing, really. Like she keeps it really simple and it really matches her energy. She really honors her energy. Everyone has their own way, and that's what I honor. But working with cycles works for everybody. That's the thing that I know is true. So
Yeah.
beautiful. Well, thank you for spending so much time with me today and sharing your experience. I think it's helpful for people to hear and see a real life how it's working for someone, to know if they want to take a peek. So I'm going to pop up that workshop info here. And in addition, we are welcoming some new members into the lab over the next few weeks. So if you're curious about, getting some additional ongoing support, the lab is a really, I've priced it really reasonably so that people can, get that support that they need to help build their content, create their offers. And you're getting, one-to-one guidance as well as all of the energy reports and cycle information that you need to make your planning easy. So
Yeah, I have to ditto that. And definitely, if I may chime in, I definitely recommend checking out the lab and hopefully joining it, because Sherry does such a wonderful job condensing all of this information. That's I don't know how much you have to read through to give us a really nice to the point report that is only a few pages, and that's very, very useful. And with some, like, even in that report there is some guidance of how to create your marketing for the next cycle. So that's really cool.
Thank you. Yeah. In fact, I'm finishing up the Scorpio guidebook right now. That's my joy. Like, I follow my joy. Like and I have the gift of taking a lot of information and being to consolidate it and make it concise. And so I do a bunch of research and reading, and then I take my own intuitive guidance and pull from it what I think is most impactful and important, and put that into a simple to follow guidebook. And we keep refining around here and, getting it down to what is most useful. So yeah, would love to have you all check out the information on the lab, but the workshop is a great way to see if this is something that aligns with you. And within the group, if you're in, and I think maybe also up on YouTube, but there are some short snippets from the workshop. If you don't feel like you have 90 minutes to listen to the whole thing, I cut out 3 different pieces for you that are all less than 7 minutes, 8 minutes. And so you can just get a flavor. So I'll drop the link to the guide in the, in our group in Heart Powered Coaches and Healers Collective. And then if you're on YouTube, we'll link those links as well for you. So either way, my wish and intention for you is that you are creating your magic out in the world and connecting with those soul clients. So whatever support and guidance I can give to help you do that, whether it's just watching these videos and getting inspired, or joining the Facebook group to be in a like-minded community, or being a member of the lab, whatever you need to keep yourself thriving and nourished, just make that a priority. And Maria, thank you so much for being here with me today. And we will see you all very soon. All right. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, Sherry.
You're welcome. All right, everybody. Remember, all it takes is a little bit of heart power. I'll see you next time.